What's up, guys? This is MRK the Barber, and these are some commonly asked questions. I think we all go through seasons in our life where there's something we want to pull the trigger on, and maybe there's that little negative voice in your head saying, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Or negative self-talk. Shut that doubt off and just go forward. Man, I had a really awesome upbringing. I have a sister and a brother. I'm the oldest. My mom and dad were ministers, grew up in the church, had a crazy adventure through the church till probably 26 years old, and learned how to play drums, learned how to play bass guitar, learned how to socialize, learned how to interact with different types of people, learned that a lot of people are different. And I learned about drama. I learned about just watching, I guess, different types of people come through those doors every day, which really helped me out in my career big time, because without understanding different types of people, I could never service different types of hair. It goes hand in hand. I grew up in upstate New York, kind of, sort of. I lived in Buffalo, outside of Buffalo, until I was about 12, 13. And then from 13 to about 19, I lived in upstate New York, the Kingston, Poughkeepsie area, the Hudson Valley area. I started barbering unofficially at 17. When I was 17, my brother needed a haircut, and I think maybe my mom or dad was like, why don't you try cutting his hair? And I think they had like a pair of Walmart clippers, some Conair ones with like plastic, really cheap. And so I grabbed them, and I was in the basement, and I just fucked his head up. I did, bro. It was the worst haircut ever. I remember literally like chunks of hair on the side still sticking out. Like, back then, man, like it wasn't cool yet, but like it started to get a little love because of TV. Like, I think the Barbershop movie may have come out around then. I don't remember quite much, but like hip hop culture was so big, and my brother and I were into it. We loved rap music, and we were into all that stuff back in the day. I was a huge Dre, Eminem fan, loved DMX, all that stuff. So like hair kind of came with hip hop. And so because of that era, I thought, yeah, it could fade, sure. Couldn't fade. Well, what got me to stick to it was like that first initial haircut. That even though it was trash, even though that first haircut was the pits, I saw a transformation in appearance. And because I was really into art, drawing, painting and stuff, I was like, this is art. I took some clippers, which is like how I use a pencil or a brush, and the canvas would be the person, and I always saw haircut as art. You know, it's weird. Like, I always sketched haircuts in class. You know, like I could just imagine those as art. At 18, I enrolled in barber school, and at 18, I went to a vocational training. It was in Portio in New York, actually. So I would get out of class as a senior in high school around 12, go do a couple hours at Best Buy, and then after that, I would go to barbering school and knock out another 4 hours at, you know, so I was doing like, you know, 7 to like 10 p.m. days as an 18-year-old, just because I was loving it. I just wanted to do it. And it started picking up traction when I started realizing I was good. And thank God my educator, Mr. Davis, I appreciate you, but he would encourage me. Like, he would give me the craziest encouragement. He'd be like, oh, you already know what to do. Like, you're a natural. Like, you've already got steps down. You'll get it. And I didn't understand exactly what I was doing, but like people around me were starting to be like, yo, you're really good. Like, you're really good. And so I took it like as like, I'm on the right path. MRK literally stands for my name, Michael Ryan Kelly. And I did that because there's a lot of Mikes in the world. It's one of the most common names on the planet. So I figured I'd separate myself on social media and create a name that will stand out a little bit. And at first it didn't, but now you see it, and now it's become kind of like a thing. People literally call me MRK, which is cool. MRK metaphorically stands for who I am as a person. I think it's pretty straightforward, but it's more than just haircuts. It's who I am, and it's who people are. So like, I always want to know the why, the what, and the where about someone who's in my chair. I'm not going to give you a haircut just to show off my skill and just to make you look good. I also want to make you look good. And yes, I do want to showcase my ability, but I also want to know who you are and how I'm going to show off my ability and represent you and represent me. And so I need to know about you. And if I know about you, I can cater that haircut to your life properly. You know, a lot of young people just want to show off their skill. Like, you even think about athletes who come in the league and they don't know all the X and O's yet, but they're so talented and so skilled, and they have this chip on their shoulder that they want to show off. But when they really shine is when they tone some of that back and become a better teammate. So as a barber, my brand and the way I am now, I kind of tone back my talent a little bit more and skill per se. And I kind of want the client to shine a little more. And that's giving them the haircut they need, not the haircut I want to give them all the time. Or maybe it's the haircut that I understand will actually suit them better than they'll even know themselves. And so it's bigger, it's hard to explain, but it's bigger than just the skill of the barber nowadays. It's bigger than that. Self-awareness is huge. Like, you've got to be self-aware. You can't just kind of do life. You can't just kind of cut hair. You've got to be in the moment of cutting hair. You got to cut hair every moment. You have to be present. You can't just go through the motions of hair. You can't just go through the motions of anything. If you ever go on autopilot in life, you'll find yourself eventually frustrated. So you got to step back and look, man. And if you don't do that, you'll be frustrated. And of course, you won't build right. I think a lot of people defeat themselves before they even put the foot through the door. I think negative self-talk is the first thing. Of course, it doesn't always come from yourself. We all learn it from somewhere or something. But I think the thing is like, you know, we're all in charge of our own lives. And if we're not taking care of ourselves first, and then we face opposition from someone from the outside, then I think it's worse. So my worst enemy is me, hands down, over anyone else. No one can stop me but me. I truly believe that. I'm not one to fake a strength that I don't have. So there are times when, yeah, I'll be real super insecure and realize it's because I'm learning something new, or I'm trying something I haven't had enough with yet. But yeah, there are times even when I'm doing something that I feel very confident in, I'll have that little negative voice come in, that bad habit of negativity in my head, and it'll slide in, and I gotta nip it, you know, like, I always tell my friends, and when I teach classes and stuff, is you have to eliminate as much negative self-talk as possible. You'll never be able to eliminate it totally, but it still comes in, and you gotta get it. We're only human. A couple of my mentors had shown me different things in life, and I learned that, you know, even though my dad was definitely a mentor to me and a guiding figure who taught me a lot of good stuff about communication and all that, I see that there's different mentors I had in my life that showed me like a variety of set and skills. I think when we talk about mentors, we often talk about this like person we put on a pedestal. And I think I never put any of my mentors on a pedestal. I saw them exactly how they were at some point. Maybe not right away, right? But the older I get, the more I realize that people that I look up to, I look at why I look up to them. So if I can compartmentalize something I admire about you or you, I can find that there's a mentor here and there with a specific type of character, a value, skill that I can learn from. And I think that's the thing that helped me out. So I have a couple that I can say for sure, like, this person taught me this person taught me that, or this person exemplified that, and I picked up on it and it worked in my life. So I don't have that token mentor where it's like, that's my guy, Mr. Miyagi. I don't have a Mr. Miyagi. I never have. I've never had that person that's like, that's my guy. So I've had a couple that played key roles. If you're a young, up-and-coming barber, I would say be patient with yourself, be present every day, work your ass off because you're young, especially if you don't have kids, you don't have married, you don't have a mortgage, or you don't have anyone you're responsible for. Really double down on hair. Live around hair. Absorb as much as you can from everyone. Pay your dues to people who have done it before you. See how you can be more valuable to people around you. In the shop, to shop owners, or if you're a young barber who's already been doing it a couple of years and you want to know what's next for you, you want to get sponsored, or you want to be on social media, create value for those companies, create value for others. That's really what it is, because the progress of learning hair will only get you so far. If you look on social media today, there is an insane amount of tutorials. There's an insane amount of talent out in the barber world. And if you want to set yourself apart as an up-and-coming barber, you've got to show them how you're different. You can't just be like everyone else. You can't be a carbon copy of everyone else. Not in this market today. So how are you going to set yourself apart to other clients? How are you going to set yourself apart to other barbers who want to learn from you or buy your product if you want to own a brand or a shop or whatever? but you've got to learn how to be more valuable and set yourself apart than the rest. However that works in your path and your journey. The barber industry is a copy and paste of everyone else right now, because there's been a couple really successful people who are like, that make it look dope. But everyone's just copying everyone now, from the haircuts to the same shit I've been doing, bro, since 2015, 14. They're doing the same shit on Instagram now. Same stuff. And when you go to the barber events, they all look the same. So I would like to see something more unique. I feel like it's my responsibility to say that, because like I feel like I am unique. I'm a white dude in a minority industry, and I try not to take myself seriously. And I know that it looks weird sometimes, because I've literally had minorities message me on Instagram or in person, and they're like, saw your work, it's amazing. Then I click on your profile, I look down, and there you are, and you don't fit the description of what I see your work. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm unique, because I've always done what the fuck I wanted to do, and I think we need more of that. There are people holding back because they're scared of like what people are gonna think of them, you know? And I started doing this with my haircuts too. Like, I purposely not pushed the urban look on my haircuts as much, because I felt like it almost became cliche that I was a white boy doing urban style hair, and I wanted to be more well-rounded for me, because you gotta do what you gotta do. You have to do what makes you happy. And I started to embrace different hairstyles. That's all. Just be you. This copy paste shit sucks. If you want to create a better environment for growth, you need more authenticity. You need more of an open mind. You need empathy. You need compassion. You need perseverance. You need hard work. Humility. You've got to be curious. You don't create growth off of just one particular direction. Growth requires culture, and culture is a culmination of multiple things. A variety of people, a variety of styles, a variety of life, variety of experiences. I don't think I've grown until I was out of my comfort zone, you know, and been open to it, and been open to other people doing different things. I think that's the thing, is like, growth comes when you least expect it, but you are open for it, if that makes sense. The biggest lesson, the biggest inspiration is starting your own family. I think a lot of young barbers, and even some of the older barbers I know, they don't have families, or maybe, like, again, they don't have a wife and kids or mortgages, or maybe they have, you know, not as much responsibility on their plate in that way. And I say to them, like, make the most of it. Like, travel as much as you can, double down on yourself as much as you can, because as much as family is an inspiration, as much as having kids and a wife and having those responsibilities push you farther, push you harder, they also are draining, and they require more energy, more focus. And because of that, it has taught me so much about being a human, so much about how much I value my energy and time, and how much I was undervaluing my energy and time. So if you're young and you don't have those things, know that you're still very valuable. And I mean, if you are someone like me and you do have kids and you think, God, where am I going to find the time and energy to invest in my brand and to do the things I want to do? Well, look, man, like, either prioritize more or just realize you're in a season. And that's what I learned too, is when you do have those things on your plate, everything's seasonal. You're going to have a season where you're just like right now, my daughter and my son, I'm in a critical place in kind of both of their ages right now and both of their lives. And I feel internally, I feel like I need to be there and more valuable. So because I'm more available to them, I do feel like I'm investing something beautiful. Because when you do have kids, it's no longer just about you and your brand. You and your brand are also your family. Because it's true, like, there are times when you need to really invest in your family, and there are other times when you've got to go and really go into grind mode and like travel and invest in your brand and create products and kind of create like a something for the outside world, you know, and then you create something for your closer circle. I mean, my number one success is family, but outside of that, I think, because, you know, no one likes that answer, right? It's the boring adult answer. The mature answer is, my greatest success is my family, which is, it's true. It is true, but like, no one wants that answer. So I'll give you the answer everyone wants. My biggest success has been breaking through that sponsorship mold and networking with people who are really well known and who have a know-how and an energy about them that is so contagious and so amazing. Like, if I didn't do what I've done and travel to Russia, travel to Spain, and met the people I've met, I would never have this understanding of how the world works. I mean, when you travel and you meet people from different cultures and walks of life, your knowledge and your value as a human being is crazy. I would definitely say, like, the most inspirational thing is the value you get when you travel and learn from other people, because it's just, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. It's hard to explain to people who haven't done it, you know? It's like speaking in a different paradigm or explain to them what a color is that they've never seen before. It goes over their heads at times. And I don't want to talk down on people, but when I talk to barbers that are just the typical 9-to-5 barber who haven't done those things yet, and they say, oh, I want to be like you. It's like, yes, I would like to help you understand that to be like me is understanding differently. It all starts here. It all starts going and doing. And that's a game changer. Like, that's by far like the greatest achievement, is just traveling and doing work for people that is valuable to many people, teaching people how to be better. That's the best. Where will I be in the industry in 5 to 10 years? I will be doing more stuff. I love this question. I will be doing things, I will be working less and doing more. And I will be doing more in a smaller percentage, in a smaller window than most people will be doing. I'm gonna leave it like that. Not detailed, but I'll be doing smaller percentage work. If you are thinking too far in the future, let me tell you really quick, the universe, God, whatever, it's got different plans. I've made 5-year plans, I've made 10-year plans, and really quickly, as soon as I feel like I've got a little groove into that plan, the universe comes around and goes, your plan isn't exactly how you thought. So having a future plan, a future idea is cool. That's nice. But in some way, if you're an ambitious person, you already know you're thinking of the past. You know, and I think like I think we put too much time and energy into past and present, and we're wasting that energy. And naturally as humans, we do that. When you mess up, you think too much of it. When you don't have enough money, you think of the future when you're gonna have that money. And I think we naturally do it. So to waste breath and energy on talking about future and past it's a waste. The older I get, the more I realize it. You get to a place where you realize that when the universe changes things on you, when gears have shifted and you're in a different season of life, you've got to almost be more open than ever before and go back over the basics and go back over the fundamentals. Sometimes I think life will do a thing where you go back over the fundamentals and the basics and step back, like artwork almost. I think sometimes we can get so caught up in a detail that we forget the bigger picture. And we need to step back once in a while. It's like when I cut hair in detail a lot, but you can't lose sight of the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is how you look from farther out. And that's life. Life is big, life is grand, you know, and you need both perspectives. You know, don't ever lose sight of the big and the small. Don't minor in the majors and don't major in the minors. So, and whatever that looks like to you and wherever you are in life right now, because you'll go through cycles, so.